theradioantenna.com, Australia's one-stop shop for classic radio air checks.
For July 31. Conditions apply.
Adelaide's 48-hour forecast. Windy, showers, a possible storm. 18 the top today, showers and 13 tomorrow. It's 14 degrees in Largs Bay. And the music that rocked Adelaide is back on 104.7 Classic Triple M.
Thank you, Mon. And the music that is going to rock McLaren Vale on Australia Day next year. Sounds a little way off, but it'll be here before we know it, Gleeson.
It will be indeed. And I'm stoked to be talking this morning to Iva Davies, the legendary front guy of Icehouse. Mate, you're doing an Australia Day gig with a bunch of other Aussie legends at Serafina Winery at McLaren Vale. Were these Australian band bills a bit of an unusual thing back in the day?
They were, but we had a very interesting beginning because back in those early days when we were starting to play, there was really only one agency for bands in Australia, and it was, I guess you'd refer to it as a monopoly, really. Mm-hmm. However, there were two managers who managed two bands who broke away from that monopoly because they had the power to do so, because the bands were so huge.
Right.
And they formed their own management structure, but also their own booking agency, and we were invited as kind of the apprentices, I guess, to be the third band. Those two bands were the Angels and Cold Chisel.
Right.
And we were, you know, as I say, the spare wheel, as it were, the young guys.
The young guns.
So we did a mighty lot of shows with that lineup, with Cold Chisel and the Angels, and they were fantastic things. In fact, we even took that sort of lineup over to New Zealand to play over there in big festival settings. So I guess we're sort of trailblazers a bit, and you'll probably remember the days when the Angels and Cold Chisel kind of ruled Australia.
Yeah.
They were very exciting times.
Indeed, and the other thing about that time was, getting a bunch of Australian bands together could end in disaster. The more you got together in one room, the more trouble there could be.
Well, you know, there's no doubt about it. There were definitely some rock and roll activities going on, put it that way. But, we were always, I guess, quite strange. I remember Molly Meldrum, years and years later, after all the countdown dust had settled, confessing to me that he thought that I was incredibly intimidating. And I said to him, why? And he said, because you never spoke to anybody. And when you finally sort of opened your mouth side of the stage at the first Countdown Awards, he was about to go on and MC the whole thing. He just about fell over with fright. And I said, well, it was only because we're incredibly shy.
Shy comes off as intimidating. Perfect.
So I guess the story would be really that we, by complete accident, we sort of stayed away from a lot of the shenanigans because we were actually, timid young men. So that might have been a good thing.
All right, Iva, thanks very much for your time, mate. It's going to be a huge Australia Day, and obviously Great Southern Land, one of our unofficial anthems, is going to be a rousing, huge hit on the day through trybooking.com. Thank you very much for your time, Iva.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, check them out. Icehouse, James Rain, Wendy Matthews, 1927, and Diesel. What a massive Australia Day. Great Australian bands to check out. Go to trybooking.com, and it's all brought to you by the Onkaparinga, City of Onkaparinga. Good on them for putting on such a great event.
It is a great lineup.
Oh, here's a great song. Hey, little girl, it's Icehouse, Classic Triple M.